Yeah, so let's start with the Docker images. So what is a Docker image basically? So Docker image is nothing but read-only template. It's just a read-only template containing some of the instructions in it, like for creating a Docker container. Okay, it's just the read-only template which is holding some instructions in it. Okay, so to run applications, what also it is going to run inside the application. It's basically the combination, the collection of the code and binaries and libraries and also dependencies and also system tools. Okay, system tools, all this combination is going to be an image, which is nothing but Docker image. It's just the read-only template. Okay, so these images are built from the Docker file. So these images are built from the Docker file. So whatever the images we are also seeing at the Docker hub, those are also built from the Docker file only. Okay, Docker images, Docker file, so Docker images. Okay, so when a Docker image is going to create, and what is the life cycle of this Docker image? First thing, so we know that it is having some the codes and bins and libs and dependencies and system tools inside in it. Okay, and read only template, nothing but only instructions in it. Okay, and what is the life cycle of the Docker image while it is going to build it? Okay, the first thing is, first it is going to build. Okay, so in the build, what happens? So it is going to build through a command called docker build. Okay, we have a command docker build, which is going to read the instructions, which is going to read the instructions from Docker file, and it is going to build an intermediate container layer. Okay, layers, and each of the instruction of the Docker file, and it is going to optimize and cache and makes users to reusability. And the second one is it is going to store. Okay, and the third one is it is going to run. Okay, and the fourth one is it is going to modify and update, and the last one is versioning and tagging. Versioning and tagging. So this is the life cycle of the Docker image. Okay, life cycle of the Docker image. So what happens in the build? The build, it is going to build through the command from the clients to the daemon. Okay, client is going to talk with the daemon that docker build. User is told me that build the image. So that means the daemon can understand that docker build is a command to read the instructions from the docker file and its layer, and then I have to create an intermediate layer docker image. Okay, and then it is going to store. Basically in the store, what happens? It is going to store in your registry. Okay, after building your image, it is going to store in your registry, that is from the docker push command. Okay, docker push command. And coming to run, so it is also a run from the docker run command. Okay, and which is going to start the image as a container. Image as a container. Image as a container. When it is going to run as a container, the container is in inactive. Okay, so for example, when the docker run command is going to start the new instance image of the container in an inactive. Okay, so this container in inactive, sorry, an active. Okay, so this is going to be an active, and it is going to be a runnable. Okay, so it is going to be runnable of the image, and it's maintain its own file system. Okay, file system, it maintain its own file system and the networking and resources. When it is going to run in the run, so it is going to active container and runnable on its own file system, networking and resources. Okay, so later image can be updated and modified by using the Docker file and rebuilding the images. Okay, rebuilding the images by using the modify and update. And the third, sorry, one, two, three, fourth, and the fourth one is fifth one, I think. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. And the fifth one is, okay, and the fifth one is versioning and tagging. What happens in the versioning and tagging? Let's say I have an image and I want to tag it for the specific code version. Okay, so to identify among the multiple images across the multiple deployments and environment, tagging would be help me. For example, I have a Nginx. Okay, I'll say latest or v1.1.0. so this is the version. So this version we are tagging like this. So this is an image and this is a tag. Okay, so this complete is going to be a tag. So this tag we are pushing into the our registry, and there we can identify the our image among the multiple images. Okay, if I come to Docker Hub, here explore, and if you can see here you have plenty of the images, and let's search for the Nginx image. Okay, here I have an Nginx image. If you click on this Nginx image, this is my image, Docker official image. Even this image also is built through a Docker file itself only. Okay, and you have a lot of information here itself, and so this is the repository of the Nginx image. Nginx image. Okay, you can see Docker files here. Docker files. Okay, so 188 tags are there. So latest tag will be the so this one is the latest tag 1.270, and always you can download the image of latest only. Okay, now I'll come here and I would like to pull this, copy, and come to our playground. What I'll say, docker pull. Now I'm talking with the client, and this client command is going to execute through the daemon, and it is pulling the, okay, I have to give docker pull and Nginx. You can see here it is downloading the tag latest, installing, pulling from library Nginx, pull completed, and it is each uh, section is going to complete, and finally it is showing you it is downloaded with the Docker IO library Nginx latest. Okay, now if I type Docker images, Nginx image is there. Nginx image is there. So this image, let's say this image, Docker image history. nginx. So this is a history of the image which it has done through the Dockerfile. Now if you can see all this add cmd label environment copy entry point expose top signal cmd and created finally. Okay, so this is how it came here. Now this is the happen at the docker file while this nginx image was running. Okay, even here if you can come and if you come down you can able to see a lot of information here. Okay, a lot of information here. Now I just want to run it as a container and let's see how this playground I can utilize. So docker run. Now I'm going to do a run. I'm not doing a build because we don't have a docker file. So now I'm doing docker run -d -name. What I'll say, my site, okay, -p 2024:80 nginx. Okay, nginx, and I'll say bin and bash. I'm just directly logging into it. I have given -d, so no issues. Now docker ps, and my container is not running, it is exited. So to see these exited containers you can give -a and the container was exited, you can see. And now what I'll do, I'll be just going to run. I will not give this bin and bash, and I'll just utilize one more port number which is 2025. I'll say my site 1 docker ps. The container is running. Let me run log into the container docker exec, okay, -it and nginx. Not nginx, it is my site 1. The container name is my site 1. So slash bin and bash. So when bin and bash means it is the exec mode, shell mode. Okay, it is into the shell mode. Now I'll be into the my container. Now if you can see here, and here I would like to do some changes. Here I would like to do some changes. If I come here, here I have this directory called this one, and I have to come to the playground, and here I can directly open vi and this one. Okay, usr share nginx.html. So va is not one. So what I'll do, sudo update sudo apt update. The terminal is a little bit slow. cd usr share nginx ls. Okay, I have html here, so it is not able to open. Then let me try one more time. vi html, or I'll just append this one, cat html. Okay, it's a directory. Now let me go to the html and ls. So here I have index.html. I'll just do a cat, or I'll just do a vi html. It's a little bit slow, this terminal. Now you can see in the above we have a open port, and click on and open the new. Okay, so here it is giving you very clearly, so welcome to Docker lab via emergency DevOps support hub. Okay, so this is how now my container is running here in this playground. Okay, and I can do to replace the same, hey welcome. Okay, come here and just refresh it. That's it, it gone. Okay, now this is thing is running inside my container. Okay, if I exit from it, ls docker images, I have one image, right? And I have one container right now it is running. So I would like to just stop the container. Docker stop and my container my site 1. That's it. Docker rm my site 1. It's going to remove the container. Okay, if you do ps and you cannot able to find anything. Okay, now I would like to just tag this image and I want to push into my Docker hub. Okay, so tagging the image and pushing to Docker hub is for the backup purpose. It's for backup purpose. So let's cover that in our Docker file thing. Okay, so from the Docker file we'll be able to learn the more advanced things. Docker file is a very important thing. Let's meet in the second.